You're right. A conversation that nobody else is gonna have.
Oh,
let's go.
I love, number one, a black father being in a picture. I love a black father being present. I love a black father continuing to admonish and cheer on his son. I love a black father holding his son accountable. I love a black father letting know, even if the world doubts you, son, I still got your back. I love all of that. And Deion knows I love him.
But
what's interesting is, I used what's interesting instead of but, just sounded nicer. What's interesting is, if it wasn't Deion and we're on that team, we're looking like, bruh, why's your daddy here? Like, let's remove my bias. I like Deion. But like, for the sake of conversation, let's make it not Deion. Why is my daddy here? Why is your daddy here?
I don't know.
T, don't lie.
Dude, when I was playing, parents would be at training camp.
Not parents. I don't see parents.
Or just the dad or the mom.
I see like, why? I just think it's almost like if you're a QB, and we hate the war analogies we always use in football. What we always use is, hey, we're going to war. We're going to battle. Hey, who's in the bunker with you? We use all these war analogies. If you're the fearless leader of the team, I just wonder, is there anything where it's like, bruh, the dad coming to practice is almost like Mike Vrabel's puppy coming to the podium. I can only be so real with you if mom and pop are there. A coach can only shoot you so straight, particularly if your father is Deion Sanders and is greater than whoever the hell you are, coach, that's trying to check my son. Imagine a quarterback coach trying to check Shedeur with Deion Sanders there. I can only go so hard at you if your dad is there, if your mom is there. Like, it again is like bringing the puppy to the podium. So I love it because it's Deion. I love it because black father being present. I love that. But T, if we can be real and go where other shows aren't going to go, you can.
I have no problem with it at all, because I'm coaching, and this Deion Sanders. You say prime, you say Deion. Everybody know you talking about.
Yep.
I don't give a damn. Mama there, daddy there. You do something wrong, I'm on your ass. If I gotta yell at you, I'm yelling at you. You're gonna get coached just like everybody else. The Cleveland Browns like this. They didn't have to put the Sanders duo on a page. He could have just have been there. And the media would have reported it. They like this. This is good for them. Deion come to practice every single day. Ultimately, Shedeur's gonna have to get out there and do the work. So him showing up, it does not matter, because Shedeur is gonna have to go out there and get the job done, or it's not going to matter. But me personally, I have no problem with it when greatness comes out, because that's what Deion was a great player. He's a great person, and more than anything, he's supporting his son. Like, that's not Shedeur, the football player. That's Shedeur. That's my son.
But let me ask you, T, you got sons and daughters. Does support ever look like support from a distance? Meaning, I remember growing up trying to learn how to ride a bike. And I recall being on a bike. And usually I'd ride one of the joints where your dad is riding in front of you and you're riding behind you. Then finally I graduated to where I was just going to ride on the bike by myself. And my dad was holding the bike. And then finally he let it go. And he let it go, and I pedal and I pedal and I pedal, and boom, I fall. And skid my knee, whatever the case may be. And I start freaking out. And he looks at me and we'd go again. And then finally I do it myself. Eventually, T, there's going to have to come a point where we see Shedeur succeed without Deion, because if we're being honest, we haven't yet. Jackson State, Deion Sanders was his coach. Colorado, Deion Sanders was his coach.
I mean,
in Cleveland, Shedeur hasn't succeeded yet. He's a rookie.
You go all the way back to high school.
Deion was his coach?
Shedeur Sanders has never had a head coach that wasn't Deion Sanders until he got drafted to the Cleveland Browns.
So at what point, and again, I'm not saying you did it right, you did it wrong. Obviously, I think you've mentioned like you didn't have a father figure you didn't have a father in your life, but I'm sure you had father figures.
No.
You didn't have a father figure in your life?
Not to me. No.
So at what point is it almost like, hey, my support of you is knowing, go fly. Go fly, bro. I can't come check on you at practice and training camp every day. Because I'm sure not all these other parents either have the financial liberty to go check on their kids, or have the schedule flexibility where we are in August to go check on their kids, or the Cleveland Browns aren't opening up the red carpet to go check on their kids.
But obviously, he didn't feel comfortable enough doing this last year.
No, Deion went last year.
But not they didn't do all this.
There was a little bit. Remember, Stefanski pulled up.
Deion getting ready for fall camp. All the college guys think they got to be back on Tuesday. There's a flux of college guys out here. We about to get on the field tomorrow.
Okay, excited.
But college football, they about to start fall. And they about to really get into the fall camp. He just coming out here talking with my son, talking ball with my son, talking life with my son, because Deion knows you got to do the work. We've done all that we could do together. I've done all that I can do as a man, raising you, and as a coach, coaching you, instilling that supreme confidence in you, which is more than anything. Mm-hmm. That's what every player needs. You got to go do it. And looking at the numbers yesterday, great practice. Looking at the numbers today, great practice. He keeps stacking these numbers like that. I didn't think he would be the week 1 starter. He may be.
But what about the fact Deion was there, I believe, yesterday and today? Obviously, when Deion...
Dawg Pound, listen to this, because the Cleveland Browns are dealing with 2 huge questions at the same time. On offense, can Shedeur Sanders prove he is ready to be more than a camp headline? And on defense, can Jarrett Verse help lead a new pass rush era after the Myles Garrett trade? That is why this moment feels bigger than a normal training camp story. Let's start with Shedeur. Deion Sanders was at Browns practice, watching his son, and of course, everybody had something to say about it. Some people see it as a distraction. Some people see it as pressure. Some people wonder if Shedeur needs to show he can succeed without Deion always being close. But here is the truth. Deion is not taking the snaps. Deion is not reading the defense. Deion is not throwing the football. Shedeur has to do the work himself. And that is exactly what makes this so interesting. Shedeur got all the first team reps, and now the words are matching the actions. This quarterback battle is not just something the Browns are saying to keep people interested. It is happening on the field. It is happening in front of the coaches. It is happening with the starters. And if Shedeur keeps stacking strong practices, the week 1 starter conversation becomes very real. The most powerful part of that cut is simple. Deion has already done what he could as a father and as a coach. He helped raise Shedeur. He helped build his confidence. He helped prepare him for this stage. But now, Shedeur has to go do it. That is the NFL. No last name wins the job. No father wins the job. No social media attention wins the job. You win it by commanding the huddle, protecting the football, making the right reads, throwing with timing, and proving to Todd Monken that the offense can function with you leading it. And Dawg Pound, that's actually good for Cleveland, because the Browns need clarity. They need to know whether Shedeur can be part of the future. They need to know whether this young quarterback has the poise, confidence, and consistency to grow into something real. And if he does, the whole outlook of this franchise changes. But while Shedeur is trying to prove himself on offense, Jarrett Verse is trying to help shape the defense. And this Jadeveon Clowney story is fascinating. According to the report, Verse made a strong pitch for Clowney, calling him one of the best rushers he has ever watched, and saying that having him in the room would be monumental. That word matters, monumental, because Verse is not looking at Clowney as just an old name. He is looking at him as a veteran who can teach, rotate, pressure, and help him grow. And after the Browns traded Myles Garrett, Cleveland needs that kind of defensive support. Verse is now one of the faces of the new defensive front. That doesn't mean he has to become Garrett overnight. That's unfair. But it does mean the Browns need to surround him with help. They need depth. They need experience. They need pass rushers who can keep offensive lines honest. And Clowney, if the fit is right, could help. Now, let's be honest. This is not a perfect story. Clowney's last exit from Cleveland was not clean. There were comments, frustration, and real questions about locker room fit. So the Browns have to be smart. This cannot just be about sacks. It has to be about culture. It has to be about whether Clowney is ready to help this team, help Jared Verse, and accept the role Cleveland needs him to play. But if he's locked in, this could help the Browns. Imagine a defensive front where Verse brings explosion, Clowney brings veteran power, Mason Graham pushes the pocket inside, and the secondary with Denzel Ward and Grant Delpit does not have to cover forever. That is how defenses create turnovers. That is how quarterbacks get uncomfortable. That is how you protect a young offense. And that connects right back to Shedeur Sanders. A young quarterback needs help. He needs a defense that can keep games close. He needs short fields. He needs extra possessions. He needs a team that does not force him to play hero ball every single drive. If the Browns can improve the pass rush, it helps whoever wins QB1. If that is Shedeur, even better, because then Cleveland would be building both sides at the same time. A young quarterback trying to rise and a new defensive front trying to replace a superstar with depth, hunger, and leadership. That is the positive side Browns fans should focus on. There is real talent here. Shedeur has the spotlight, and now he has the reps. Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston give the offense young energy. Jerry Jeudy and Harold Fannin Jr. can help create answers. Denzel Ward is locked in as a defensive leader. Grant Delpit brings toughness and accountability. Jared Verse brings a new edge presence, and if Clowney joins the room the right way, Cleveland's pass rush could get deeper fast. This is not about pretending the Browns have everything figured out. They do not. But training camp is about finding answers, and right now Cleveland is asking the right questions. Can Shedeur stand on his own and prove he belongs? Can Verse become the leader of a new pass rush era? Can Clowney help without hurting the culture? Can Todd Monken pull all of this together? That is what makes this moment worth watching. Dawg Pound, this team is not just trying to survive the season, it is trying to build a new identity. Shedeur represents the future on offense, Verse represents the future on defense, and Clowney could become the veteran piece that helps bridge the gap. Now I want to hear from you. Should the Browns bring Jadeveon Clowney back if Jared Verse wants him in the room? Can Shedeur Sanders keep stacking strong practices and push for Week 1? And are the Browns quietly building something tougher than people realize? Drop your take in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay locked in for more Browns news, Browns rumors, NFL updates, and real Dawg Pound reactions every single day.